advanced to an extent. Technology has advanced to an extent where we use finger scans and face IDs full-fledgedly. But when it comes to implanting chips under the skin, it doesn't seem to have reached its full potential. The act still feels like a gimmick rather than a modern robotic human. And such is the scenario when this technology has already existed for many, many decades. Now, would you ever get an electronic chip under your skin? The chips planted under the skin tend to carry the RFID technology. Now, RFID, or radio frequency identification, enables technologies like tap to pay and subway cards. So in case you don't want to carry your bags and bank cards to pay, you can have such chips installed under your skin. One can also install sensors and avoid carrying keys to home and unlocking cars. But an important point to note is that such technologies do not work like how they would, for example, in a Mission Impossible film. In fact, they don't work half the time and are still a bit far from being successfully used. Another integral drawback of such...
Watch.
Damn it. See, these commercials, man, they just make shit hard. Can't get a lesson out for shit. You know, fucking devils.
What if you could pay for your shopping with just a wave of your hand? This RFID chip works just like a contactless card. It's implanted into your hand, and once it's there, you can pay for groceries, open doors, and even unlock your car. What if you could pay for your shopping with just...
All right.
I implanted an RFID chip into my hand. User discretion advised, but here are the details. I purchased the RFID implant from DangerousThings.com. This is a dual chip RFID NFT implant kit. It comes pre-sterilized with all of the implant tools and instructions that you need to do.
I just had an RFID chip implanted.
As one does.
As one does. If you can feel it right here, there's a little chip in there, but
cool.
It's made by a company called Dangerous Things, which is got a great marketing, right?
Yeah.
But this is a more advanced one, so I put it in so I can open my Tesla with it and wave in front of the elevator.
Check out with Apple Pay.
Exactly. I want my, actually I will not put my my crypto keys on this because then my hand is at risk.
Yeah. When this guy made his payment.
We've been putting microchips in our pets for years, but now we're starting to do it on ourselves. The ideal place to put these turns out to be the back of the hand just underneath the skin. And it can be useful for things like opening doors or storing health information. But is this something you really want to do? Leave your answer in the comments. We've been putting...
According to the reference works, there is a little spiritual entity that guides the world of Freemasonry, and they call him Yoda. And in the reference works, you'll see this little creature with the pointed ears, and he's called Yoda. Yoda goes back to Judah, which goes back into British Israel World Freemasonry, going back to the time of the founding of England, and that's why they're today called British. The British, it's a very big difference between being English and British. Brit is Hebrew for contract or a covenant, and ish means man in Hebrew. Therefore, British is the covenant man or man of the new covenant.
So we're talking about Star Wars.
So we're talking about Star Wars. We're talking about
the evil empire.
And Empire Strikes Back. And with the Empire striking back, New York is the Empire State. We're talking about the new empire of New World, America, striking back at Europe in 2 world wars to overthrow the old Roman dynasties in Europe to take over the world. So what?
Have you seen the average auto insurance rate?
Okay. Let's go find some more information on these fucking chips. Because these people are insane. They're completely insane. And this is what they want to do. Okay.
When this guy made his payment.
Seen that one. Okay. Seen that one. Seen that one. Slovakia.
So the very first chip that I got was this one, and this was very experimental. So a doctor, used a little scalpel and placed it. But as we started to make products out of this, we put them into pre-sterilized injectors. So it's just like getting an injection, really. But now that process can be done by our partners, which are mostly body piercers. They're very familiar with skin, aseptic procedures, needles, things like that. So it's a very quick and easy process that's actually safer than getting an ear piercing. There's a lot of misconceptions. A lot of people are kind of educated by Hollywood movies, which is fantastical nonsense. There's no power when it's not, very close to a reader. So it's not tracking you, it's not GPSing, it's not doing any of that nonsense. Being able to secure things like banking transactions, Bitcoin transactions, the really important things about your digital identity that are now merged with your biological identity. That's a very important thing. Normally you have something that's secure, but it's not convenient, or it's convenient, but it's not secure. Implants have a chance to break that paradigm so that you can do something that's secure while being convenient, or it's more secure because it is convenient to be secure. So this is an example of just a vent safe that looks like a vent, but it's actually safe.
So this is the Creality High, and as you can see, it has RFID capability. But unfortunately, you need Creality's proprietary RFID rolls of filament.
Right.
This girl was shocked when she saw her customer pay just by tapping his hand. But it wasn't magic. He's got a tiny RFID chip implanted under his skin that works like a credit card. The chip is inserted with a quick injection and can be programmed using a phone. It's like having a hidden superpower that lets you unlock doors, make payments, and even pay for the subway. This girl was shocked.
Okay. Let's get some scriptures. Oh, come on. I already had a shitty day to start with. These motherfuckers in there, Jesus Christ, punk shit pisses me the fuck off all the time. Apologize for cussing, but I mean, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and he causeth all. Let's do AMP. Also, he compels all, the small and the great, and the rich and the poor, and the free men and the slaves, right, to be given a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, signifying allegiance to the beast, right, the beast power, which is the beast system, okay, to be used so this way you can't buy or sell or interact in society at all unless you willingly hold allegiance to this beast power by participating in that said beast power system. Okay, it's the only way you can do it. And that no one will be able to buy or sell except the one who has the mark, either the name of the beast or the number of his name, right? And clearly they've got different ways that you can interact with this beast system. You can have the radio frequency identification micro C-HIP, or you could have the Neuralink brain chip, or the other companies that are in competition with Neuralink, the Chinese companies that are in competition with Neuralink, whatever have you. So they're going to give you different options on what you can do and how you can apply this into society. Okay? And that no man might buy or sell save that he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right? Now, there's a specific 3-digit barcode system implanted or installed in the electronics of the RFID chip connected to the cloud in 5 or 6G, which is the reason why they created all these 5G, 6G towers. The 5G towers can be converted easily to 6G with the microchip. Okay? Or a fucking flash drive. It can be modified from 5 to 6G. Okay? That means that your joints and the cartilage between your joints, okay, is going to become weaker because of the electromagnetic radiation, okay, that constantly bombards your immune system. You see what I'm saying? Did the same thing with radio waves back in the early 1900s when radio first came out. Okay, when the radio waves and antennas were on the world, people caught the flu and millions of people died because their immune systems weren't compatible with that particular type of electromagnetic radiation. Okay, that's the reason why people got sick. Same thing with the 5G. These 5G towers. Your arm hurt, your shoulders hurt, your neck hurts, your back hurts. These are all effects of the electromagnetic radiation waves that are hitting your body constantly, no matter where you go. Okay. What's amplifying it also is the cell phone that you carry with you. Okay. There are electromagnetic waves bouncing back and forth between the 5G towers and the phone, back and forth constantly. Okay. So a lot of people don't know a lot about this, and I did the research on it. When the apostles and elders of Great Millstone had directed me skillfully manipulating the Holy Scriptures, okay, in order to persuade and convince me that they were telling the truth, because I did as the Bereans did, Paul the apostle, and went back to double check to see if they were telling the truth, and that's how I came into the truth. I just did some online search. I was on there for 3 days. There were hundreds of videos, just like you saw in the collage videos, of individuals that are getting this fucking microchip implanted underneath their skin. And it went all the way back down, all the way back to the 90s. Okay, that they first started. So in the 90s, close to 2000s, people were thinking it was the end of the world, and they were putting out videos and everything concerning stay away from the 666 microchip. That television shows, movies were coming out, all kinds of shit, man. Trying to convince people, don't do it. This is what's going to happen. Don't do it. This is what's going to happen. In the early 2000s, they had that set of movies coming out talking about Left Behind with what's that weirdo's name? The one guy, I forget his name. I guess he turned into a Christian after that. But if you look what Christianity and Manifest Destiny has done to the indigenous population of people over here, was that a good idea to join a group of bloodthirsty animals that rape, murder, and pillage in the name of Manifest Destiny and Christianity? Fuck that. Bad idea. Anyway, Salakia for cussing. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rahab Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that have been scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom. This is Matazah Lacham. And I don't know, I was just having a bad time. I was supposed to pay the rent, and I misplaced the money order. Okay. And so, okay. Anyway, Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. Okay, that's all you saw, as individuals putting this marking themselves for judgment by the Most High God, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, to pour out upon them the indignation of his wrath out of a cup, poured out without mixture. That means, wow, once Jacob's trouble starts in earnest, the lights go out, wow, they're going to be punished badly. There's going to be strange apparitions that just come up out of the darkness. You're going to start feeling this eerie feeling when you're walking down the street that someone's following you, but you can't see them because they're not there. There's no electricity. It's going to be damn near pitch black outside, man. The only thing people will be able to see is that if they have a generator to generate their homes or light their homes on the inside until the gas runs out, or, okay, they're going to have flashlights until the battery power goes out. If they're not, what do you call it, solar powered battery chargers, yeah, it's when it gets dark, it's going to be dark. Okay, people are going to be afraid to go outside. Because hell, you don't know what you're going to run into. You know who you're going to run into. Evil spirits come out. You know what I mean? Running up and down the street, taking over people's body. You see what I'm saying? You're going to have lunatics that have infrared binoculars and infrared goggles that they purchased in anticipation of this thing happening. Okay, running up and down the street. Everybody's blind as shit. Hundreds of people outside It's pitch black. People can't see you walking right past them. Okay, you see what I'm saying? With a gun. Perfect opportunity for individuals to get, just like you saw in the Purge movies, perfect opportunity for individuals to get back at individuals that have been pissed them off all year. Go back and kill the boss at work, all kinds of evil shit. I mean, man, this is a bad time. I'm telling you, okay? Revelation chapter 14, verse 10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High when it is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Now the Lamb being Yahushua HaMashiach, who laid down his life for his friends, and his brethren, right, who are the hopeful elect that have been scattered into the four winds of the heaven, that the Most High is going to send back his angels with the great sound of a trumpet send his angels to gather together his elect from the four winds, from the one ends of heaven to the other, that have been scattered into the different nations on the face of the earth. Let's go get an example of that. Isaiah chapter 11, verse 11, right? And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time. So when he comes back again the second time, his hand, Yahweh's right hand, which would be the ministering spirits and angels that, like it says in the book of Hebrews, Salakia, chapter 1, verse 14, right? Salakia. Okay, let's start at verse 13. But to which of the angels said he at any time, sit on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool? And my point, verse 14, AMP, are not all the angels ministering spirits sent out by the Most High, Yahweh, to serve, accompany, protect those who will inherit salvation? Right? The heirs of salvation. Okay, let's go get an heir. Web search for an heir, right? Heirs. An heir is a person legally entitled to inherit the estate, property, or title of a deceased person. Okay, now, of course, the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh liveth forever. Like he says in what is it? I think it's in Deuteronomy chapter 39, verse 40. The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh lift up his right hand and said that I live forever. So this is just a carnal explanation of what Esau Edom doesn't quite understand concerning existential things on a spiritual matter. Okay? But anyway, concerning ecclesiastical matters in the biblical scriptures. The basic instruction before leaving earth instruction manual, the Bible, given to the elect. Right? An heir is a person legally entitled to inherit the estate, property, or title of a deceased person, particularly when no valid will exists, right? Heirs are usually family members, right? So since we would be heirs, okay, because we're going to go get Romans 8 and 16 now, okay, such as spouses, children, or close relatives determined by state laws or descent. Types include heirs apparent and presumptive heirs, right? Okay, heir apparent, first in line. Their right cannot be defeated if they outlive the ancestor. Presumptive heir, expected to inherit, but his right could be lost if a closer relative is born, right? So that's where Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, through his servant, the Apostle Paul, is explaining, okay, be careful, because your name will get scratched out of the book of life. Be careful, when you come into this truth, and stay in the truth. That's all that Paul is warning all of us here in these last days, is that once you come into the truth, stay in the truth and be careful not to offend the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, the angel that was with us in the desert. When you call upon the name of the Lord, be wary not to offend his angel, for his name, the Most High's name, is in him, right? Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, right? He is, Yahweh means he is, and Yahweh Shai means he is salvation, or he delivers, right? Adoptive error. Legally adopted children have the same rights as biological children. Okay? Alrighty. So I could go into that heirs of salvation all day long, right? All right. So now, where was I going? Come on. Now, we were going to go to, watch it start all over. Okay. Now, let's go over here to Romans. Where is Romans right there? Romans chapter 8. Right? Right? Verse 15. For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. Right? Verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. Right? And if children, then heirs, heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. Okay, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Okay, for the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of the Most High, the sons of God, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the cup. Let's read it ourselves, right? Romans chapter 9, verse 1. I say the truth in Hamashiach, I lie not, my conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for, or Hamashiach, or the anointed, for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. So you have to be an Israelite according to the flesh. It doesn't have any goddamn thing to do with being a spiritual Israelite. You can't be a spiritual Israelite unless you're an Israelite according to the flesh. Now, Esau Edom has the idea of looking on the outward man, not on the inward man. Okay? That's what the Most High is concerned about. The inward man are changes being made inwardly towards your character, how you interact with individuals in society, as opposed to what you used to do. Are you doing the rehearsing the righteous acts? Changing things around, changing your mind, changing your mindset, changing, taking the appropriate steps necessary to change, your footsteps of what you're putting in your body. Okay, are you studying? Are you reading the Holy Scriptures, in order to get closer to the Most High, to know exactly what he wants for your life? Out of the instruction manual, the Bible, the basic instruction manual, okay? Things like that, right? Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and of the services of the Most High, and the promises. Okay, the promises of the heirs of salvation, okay, the sons of the Most High God, right? So, now the mark of the beast, RFID chip, is going to cut off 2/3 of our people, because they're going to panic, along with the heathen nations. They're going to panic. Okay? Right? They're going to panic. Let's go get it. Zechariah, all right, chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but a 3rd part shall be left therein. Right? Now, this 3rd part that's going to be cut off and die. Let me see, where is it? Let me see if I can find you a picture that the apostles and elders of Great Millstone were gracious enough to allow us to use some of their pictures. Okay. So this way we would be able to spread the truth of the gospel. Let me see if I can find you. Oh, boom. Look at that. Right there. Bam. Alrighty. Now, let me see if I can... No, I guess I can't. Okay, let me see if I can find it then. All right. Well, I doubt if I can find it, but I'm going to see if I can find it. Let me type it in. Israelite pie chart of salvation and destruction. See if I can find it.
Right, Shalom.
Right. Damn it. Okay. It sent you to a video, straight video of the book.
First and foremost, I would like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahawashi, Bahashim Rachak Wadash. Double honors and to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shout out to all you brothers out there feeding the flock. It's motivating. And shout out to you sisters out there listening in quietness and meekness. Shalom. All right, this chart.
Alrighty. Now the chart, okay, the little thin sliver of white that you see there are the 144,000. The elect 1/3 that you see in the yellow are the elect of the house of Israel. Okay. And the 1/3 of the house of Israel that have been scattered into all the nations that look like the heathen nations from the outward appearance. But the Most High is concerned about the inward man and the inward appearance of what you're trying to do in order to receive salvation by rehearsing the righteous acts, doing what needs to be done in order to receive that salvation in hope that your bloodline goes back 3 to 4 generations, okay, to the Israelites. Okay? That's the elect 1/3, like it says in the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 9. 2/3, like it says in Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8, as you can see the pie chart, is in red. That's 66.6%. Okay? Right? 2/3 of Israelites that are going to be cut off. Right? So, wow. Okay, I have to make a video about that. Sundown Town in Texas just got destroyed. Oh shit, I got to make a video on that one. But yeah, and so that's basically that. You know what I mean? 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off and die on this side. They have to be because they're hard-headed and stiff-necked. They won't listen to common sense and reason. Damn, this damn phone won't do what I tell it to, man. The hell. Come on. See, it just... I'm getting very frustrated here. Okay. Alrighty. Come on, man. See, goddamn, it's just going to do what it wants to do, man. Okay, I don't even know if I should even touch the goddamn screen, man. It just does whatever it wants. Wow. Man. Oh, my God, man. It is just getting more and more difficult for me to make lessons with this. Zechariah chapter 13, okay, verse 8. And it shall come to pass, and then all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but a 3rd part shall be left therein. And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. Now, that fire is the fire of adversity, because acceptable men, let me get it. Let's get it. If I can get it to work right. Okay. Fire of adversity. Boom. Oh, man. See, I can't. Man, come on, man. I'm really trying here, you guys, man. I really am. It is very difficult. I'm trying to type in the right stuff, and it won't. It just, I don't know. It just. Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Right? Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 6. Believe in him, and he will help thee, or order thy way aright, and trust in him. And ordering your way aright is the inward man, doing what's necessary to change your way, change your mind, which is true repentance, right? All right, let's go get more on repentance before it's too late, right? 67, where is it? Verse 67. This is how you repent. Behold, the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai himself is the judge. Fear him. This is how you do it. Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities to meddle no more with them forever. That's how you repent. Okay? Quit doing it. Change your mind. Quit smoking. Quit doing drugs. You know? We know it's going to get tough. It's going to get even tougher. What are you going to do when the stores are closed? There's nothing there on the shelves. There's no food. These scriptures are telling you what you're going to do, okay, if you're in the carnal mind state. Our job during this time, okay, is to follow the commandments. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not steal, okay. A lot of individuals that think that they have great moral fiber, at that time in the fire of adversity during Jacob's trouble, that's going to be tested, okay, until its absolute breaking point and limit, right? Behold, the Most High himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities to meddle no more with them forever. So shall the Most High lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. Okay? That's what the hopeful elect are hoping for. We're hoping to be delivered in Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah, let's go get it. Jeremiah chapter 30. Hold on. Where's it at? 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that there is none like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right? Now, let's go get what Google says about Jacob's trouble. You type it in. I'm curious. Jacob's trouble. What is it? And what needs to be done to receive salvation? Right? Question mark. Boom. All right. Jacob's trouble, or the time of Jacob's trouble, is a biblical term from Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7, referring to a future 7-year period of unparalleled distress. See, it goes back off into the belief of Christianity with that rapture doctrine, 7 years of tribulation. Then the Lord comes. Then there's another 7 years, and then the Lord comes again and gets everybody the fuck else. This is what they believe. I've heard it, but I don't subscribe to that miscellaneous madness because it doesn't make any sense. The Most High's Holy Scripture says He's coming back one time to receive unto Himself His elect from the four corners of the earth, from one end of heaven to the other, using His angels, the hand of the Lord at that time. Okay? It doesn't say He's going to come back in 7 more years. It doesn't say He's going to come back 7 years later after that. It says He's coming back once because He sacrificed Himself once on the tree and shed His blood once for all time. So He's coming back once for all time. Like it says in Isaiah 11:11, He will receive unto Himself the second time to receive unto Himself those that are destined for salvation. Right? Judgment and refining of the nation of Israel, commonly known as the Great Tribulation. It is a time when the Most High disciplines his people to bring them back to him, but it culminates in their salvation and the return of Yahushua HaMashiach. What is Jacob's trouble? Definition and timing. It is the 7-year period described in Daniel and Revelation, beginning after the church is removed, rapture, and concluding with the second coming of Yahushua. Purpose. The primary purpose is to purge Israel of unbelief, refine the nation, and bring them to repentance, causing them to recognize Yahushua as their Messiah. Nature of the distress. It involves global catastrophe, war, famine, and intense persecution of the Israelites, right? Which the Bible describes as a day of trembling and fear. It is named after Jacob because it specifically concerns his descendants, the house of Israel. That's what I was trying to get to. It's not for everybody. It's the reason why I went to Romans chapter 9, verse 4. To whom pertaineth the adoption? Who are Israelites? Remember, Jacob's name was changed by the Most High from Jacob to Israel. Okay? Okay, the name. It is named after Jacob because it specifically concerns his descendants, the house of Israel, and their ultimate deliverance, fulfilling the Most High's covenant promises to them. Didn't say everybody with that, okay, with that rapture God loves everybody bullshit. It says to them, the Israelites. Okay? According to the interpretations of the end-time prophecy, salvation during the tribulation will still be through faith in Yahushua HaMashiach, but it will be accompanied by severe trials and the need for extreme endurance. Believe and call upon the Lord. Salvation remains centered on believing in Yahushua and calling upon the name of the Lord, right? Proverbs 18:10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe, right? Endurance to the end. Yahushua states in Matthew 24:13 that he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. This implies a necessity to survive the persecution, which is a refining fire. Right? Right? And it just keeps going on and on. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, let's go back over here to, what was that? Alrighty. Let's go. Let's just use this one then, since it came up first. I'll go up to, where's that? Isaiah. Back to Isaiah 11 and 11. Right? So he's coming one time. Right? And it shall come to pass that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. Right? Now, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel. Right? And gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. He's going to assemble the outcasts of Israel, gather together the dispersed of Judah. Right? Okay. Now, let's go over here to, damn, I was just there. What am I doing? Okay, let's go to, hold on. Let's go to Matthew chapter 24, verse 31. Right? Verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. Right? All the tribes of the earth are the sons of men. Right? They're the extras in the movie. Okay? It's about the protagonist and the antagonist in the movie. The sons of men, okay, are the heathen nations, the tribes of the earth. Okay? Now, the sons of the Most High God are the Israelites. The sons of perdition are the Edomites. Okay? So there's three sons on the face of the earth. You have the sons of the Most High God, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, right? Then you have the sons of men, the tribes of the earth. Then you have the son of perdition, the Edomites, that rule the earth at the time of his second coming. Okay? Who's in control of the earth now? They're just slowly losing power. losing white supremacy, losing white privilege, losing everything. Their houses, their cars, their jobs. Who's losing? Okay? Matthew chapter 24, verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, the skies above us, right? And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven. The clouds of heaven are the unidentified aerial phenomenon, aka unidentified flying objects that they call UFOs. Okay, these are the chariots of salvation. Okay, within these chariots, okay, and these clouds of heaven are the angels being directed by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, whom you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, to receive the outcasts of Israel and to gather together the dispersed of Judah. Judah consists of Negroes of the 12 tribes. Okay? Let's go get it. Let me see if I can. Because I remember I just had it, but I need to find it. Okay, come on. See, it just does whatever the fuck it wants to do. Wow. Crazy. Madness. What the hell? Anyway. I have to take a breath. I have a lot of stuff on my mind, right? How am I going to pay, Matthew chapter 24, verse 31. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together the dispersed of Judah and the outcasts of Israel, his elect, from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Didn't say anything about a rapture. Okay? Rapture is the fear of the Most High God that has been taught to these Edomite Caucasians and the heathen nations by the precept of men. That's a man-made precept. That's a man-made concept. Rapture doesn't have anything to do with being caught up in the clouds, as it is described in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 15 through end of chapter. Okay? Has nothing to do with being caught up. It's a man-made doctrine. 7 years? So we got to go through this thing 7 years? So wait a minute. How the fuck do you know it's going to be 7 years? It could be 10 years. It could be 3 weeks. Okay? You're saying that you're God and you made up this number? You see the precept of men? These people don't know what they're talking about. Okay? Well, it says in the book of Daniel that it's going to be 7-year tribulation. No, it doesn't. Okay, let me see. I'm like, what the fuck? Where? I mean, that's an entirely different video. This video is about the mark of the beast. Okay, clearly. Let's go get that other video that I had put in my watch history. Okay, Salakia. Alrighty. Okay, about the miracles, right? Salakia.
You could be approved for $39 per month. Full coverage auto insurance.
Well, a few years ago here on Redacted, we covered Sweden's bizarre microchip implanting story and their plan, which would have everyday citizens opting to have microchips implanted right into their bodies, right into their hands, the RFID or near field communications chips, or NFC, basically the size of a grain of rice. And thousands of Swedes took the plunge. And since this story first published, many more thousands have taken the plunge. The idea is that the chips would speed up your user's daily life, make their lives more convenient, access their homes, office, gyms, just swipe it right on your door or keypad and you're right in there. Here is one of the individuals lining up to get one of the chip implants and just being able to get it poked right in the hands. Now, when the program started, the demand was off the charts. There were waiting lists. Companies could insert these things. They couldn't insert these things fast enough. And then shortly after it won high praise from the World Economic Forum.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to track people and they let you.
Exactly.
That's on them.
So World Economic Forum's like, hey, this is great. And if you read the article, the World Economic Forum piece on this, they even point out it's no big deal. It's just like a simple, like a slight sting in when you get it. No big deal.
Imagine telling our youngest, who hates shots, that you're just going to get this chip forever. It's only going to hurt for a little bit.
And we'll be able to track everything that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flash forward to 2026, and now these micro and where are things at with this program? We wanted to check in on this program, see how it's being floated for digital IDs, digital currency, how it's competing with the incredibly popular bank ID system in Sweden. It's very, very popular. It's almost at 100% usage. The bank ID system in Sweden, 100%, up to 8.7 million users now across the country. It's basically their dominant digital ID system. So is there a marriage between like implanting yourself with these chips and using the country's digital ID system? Forget cash, forget everything. It's all digital now, and all they want to do is track you. Well, today we're thrilled to have Maria Z joining us today to talk all about this from Z Media, and who's been watching, of course. She has very keen insights into watching how all of this tracking across these countries around Europe, through Australia, the United States, are unfolding, and watching this legislation that's been moving. Great to see you, Maria. Welcome back.
Okay, wait a minute. I forgot. Fair use. Fair use. Let's go get fair use. I forgot. Let's go get fair use. I need to go get a fair use disclaimer. Oh, come on, man. It's just gonna do whatever, huh? This motherfucking machine, boy, I tell you. Just do whatever. Okay. Copyright disclaimer, right? Let's get it. Man, come on, man. Copyright disclaimer. This disclaimer refers to U.S. Code 107, which allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. It protects users from infringement claims when using content for nonprofit, educational, or personal purposes, balancing the rights of creators with public interest. Okay? Let's get it. Copyright disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now, let's go back to this video. If I can get it, we'll go back. See? Come on. Go over. Damn it. Okay. Oh, my God, man. See? Just goddamn frustrate shit out of me all day, right?
You guys, after years of marriage, this right here is absolute magic. Blue Chew Gold is...
Shut up.
Good to see you, Maria. Welcome back to the show.
Great. You both again. Thank you so much for inviting me. These particular chips, I will say from the outset, I'm not that worried about the microchips, and I'll explain why. The uptake, yes, there were a few thousand people that rushed to do it in the beginning, but I think that pretty much after 2018, that slowed down a lot. There was the initial rush of, a few thousand that said, yeah, this is great, and we're probably paid to do it. But it's not something that's widely popular at this stage. What I'm more concerned about, truthfully, is an admission from MIT that happened in November of 2025. So a publication from MIT News actually reads, quote, "New therapeutic brain implants could defy the need for surgery." Now, I'll read you a couple of quotes from this article. It is extremely alarming. MIT researchers developed microscopic wireless bioelectronics that could travel through the body's circulatory system and autonomously self-implant in a target region of the brain where they could provide quote-unquote focused treatment, because it's about treating Alzheimer's and things of this nature, right? Not covert operations, everyone. In a study on mice, the researchers show that after injection, these minuscule implants can identify and travel to a specific brain region without the need for human guidance. Once there, they can can be wirelessly powered to provide electrical stimulation to the precise area. So a couple of things here. We're talking about self-assembling nanotechnology that can form brain implants that is, one, done through injection, so vaccines, and two, does not need any human intervention once it's been administered through the quote-unquote vaccine. Now, we know, Clayton, that this is happening through geoengineering. Smart dust has been happening for a very, very long time, and we know that they can administer various types of nanotechnology that can be self-replicating, self-programming through vaccines and other medicines, and also potentially through our food. I'm actually far more concerned about the covert applications of this type of technology than I am about people going and implanting themselves. I dare say there could be quite a few people walking around with chips already inside of them without knowing it's actually there.
Wait, what is smart dust that you mentioned?
Smart dust, they've been geoengineering for a very, very long time, as you both know. Smart dust is essentially programmable dust. This is something that is not detected through the human eye. People talk about how it forms structures even on their walls. I mean, there's a lot of anecdotal information about what smart dust has achieved, but basically when you're talking about the various chemicals that they're spraying, and that also, by the way, includes graphene, Dane Wigington has done independent testing of soil and air and things of this nature, and found graphene immediately present after geoengineering has occurred. When you look at what they refer to when it comes to graphene, they say that it's essentially a miracle component that they have started using in medicine. And you'd recall Albert Bourla talking about how, you know, in the future we're going to have these pills that people can take and they'll tell us whether the person's taken it, what it's doing inside of their bodies. That, of course, is achieved through graphene because it is highly conductive. It is able to send a message back to them. And it's no secret. This isn't a conspiracy theory. Albert Bourla himself has spoken about their ability to do this. There's been a lot of talk back and forward as to whether they can achieve this through geoengineering or vaccines or things of this nature. Their literature absolutely says that it can, and these studies go back decades.
Yeah, here's just an example of some of the graphene oxide being manipulated using different frequencies. So this is exactly what, individuals like Dane Wigington have been talking about, David Icke, the manipulation of graphene oxide that's in our bodies, these nanoparticles that can be manipulated and moved. So I think you're right. I think you're hitting on something, because when you look at just the thousands of people that have willingly put these microchips in their hands, that's a small percentage. But so many people have this in their bodies because of, geoengineering, because of what they're spraying in our skies, and because of these COVID jabs.
Yes, let me get...
Okay. I can't go too far, man. But my point being is that, hey, look, these people have been doing this shit for a very long time. Now, a person has to willingly take and be a participant in this said program, this systematic program, okay, that allows an individual to purchase food, water, shelter, transportation, clothing, whatever have you. Now, universal basic income, UBI, okay, let's go get that. Let's get it. The universal basic income. All right, hold on. Let's see. UBI. UBI. What is it? And how does it interact with beast system technology? Okay. Wait a minute. See, goddamn it. Wow. You see they was trying to record my voice, man. Y'all see that shit? See what the fuck? Universal basic income is a government-led economic model where all citizens receive a regular, unconditional cash payment sufficient to meet basic needs, regardless of their income or employment status. Within certain prophetic and conspiratorial frameworks, UBI is viewed as a potential component of the beast system, a predicted, dystopian, technology-driven global surveillance and financial network. Okay? Let's say that again. UBI is viewed as a potential component of the beast system. Okay? See the image of the beast? Okay? The image of the beast is a system of control, a predicted, dystopian, technologically driven global surveillance and financial network. What is UBI? Definition: an ongoing consistent payment given directly to individuals. Key features: it is a universal, everyone gets it, unconditional, no work requirements, and aims to prevent poverty. Purpose: proponents suggest it is a necessary solution to mass unemployment caused by artificial intelligence and automation. What? Hold on. Purpose: proponents suggest it is a necessary solution to mass unemployment caused by artificial intelligence and automation. Now, we all know these Edomite devils are suffering because of mass unemployment due to artificial intelligence. They just laid off thousands of workers at Spirit Airline, JetBlue, and now Southwest Airlines is thinking about laying people off. This is a trickle-down effect that it's going to affect everybody in order to crash the economy on a global scale. These devils are out of time. Okay? Interaction with beast technology. The beast system is often interpreted in apocalyptic theology as a global control structure resembling Revelation chapter 13, which we just read, that uses technology to track populations and control buying and selling. Here is how UBI interacts with this concept: replacing cash with digital currency. Many universal basic income proposals rely on digital delivery systems. Critics and proponents of prophetic interpretations argue this creates a centered, digitized, and traceable currency system, which could be used to restrict transactions for those not compliant with a beast system. Let's go get it, right? Those that are not compliant, right? Oh, come on, man. Those that are not compliant. Those that are not compliant. Alrighty? Those that are not compliant. Boom. Oh, come on. Okay. Those that are not compliant. Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. Alrighty? Come on. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. The image of the beast is the beast system, right? Okay? That the image of the beast should both speak by draconian law. Dystopian. Right? Dystopian, you have no choice. Right? With should both speak, right? And cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast. To worship means to be a willing participant in the beast system, right? Should be killed. Okay? Now, what that means by being killed, like it says, going back up here, replacing cash with digital currency. Okay. Critics and proponents of prophetic interpretations argue this creates a centered, digitized, and traceable currency system which could be used to restrict transactions for those not compliant with a beast system. So those that will not worship the image of the beast should be killed, meaning they'll just cut you off. You're no longer a member of their beast system, so you stand outside it. You have individuals like that you can see every day on how this is going to affect individuals that don't want to be a part of the beast system. When you see the homeless people that you drive past every day, you're going to be not only homeless, but you're going to have but you won't be able to buy and sell. You are going to be pushing the basket. You are going to be pulling the basket behind you on a bicycle. Okay? Are you willing to go through that fire of adversity in order to be acceptable to the Most High? Okay? In order to receive salvation from Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, the Lord of salvation? Okay? These are good questions. Alrighty? Are you? Yeah. I've already done it one time. They did the bullshit already with COVID or COVID-19, whatever. Okay. I was fired because I refused to take it at my job. Okay. So I don't have a problem with it. I went back to my job, and a year later, after the Most High had taken care of me, okay, 2 people were walking in the sand, and then I looked down and there was one set of footprints. Why is there one set of footprints? Well, when you failed, I picked you up and carried you. That's what the Most High had done for that whole year. Okay? He picked me up and carried me and kept my bills. He gave me enough money to where I could still survive. Okay? Pay my bills, pay my rent on time, all of that shit. Okay? That's my testimony of what the Most High's power can do. I went back, get this. I went back to reapply for a different job. At my job, they hired me back with $6.50 more money than what I had when I got fired. I couldn't beat that with a fucking stick. So that was my reward, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the mind of the Most High. Who can counsel him, right? Anyway, dependency and control. Some argue that UBI makes the population dependent on a benevolent government, which could be used to force compliance. If AI and robots control production and the government controls the UBI, individuals who oppose the system could be cut off. Individuals that oppose the system could be cut off. Okay? So they fired me last time. They're probably going to fire my ass again. So I'll be cut off. Okay? So that's how far I'm willing to prove my faith in the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. I did it before, and he held me up, man. I can't deny it. I can't, man. Okay, it's my testimony. I can't deny his name. He proved it. God damn it. I didn't know what else to do, man. I couldn't feed my family or nothing. Boom. I get a job. I just apply it. Random fucking job. But come to find out, it was my first cousin. My first cousin was the supervisor at this random job. He made sure I had the highest pay in the plant. I mean, man, you can't make this shit up, okay? So whenever you get done, there is proof that the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua exists here on earth in a carnal sense through our jobs, our foodstuffs, and paying bills. He will hold you up if you believe in his name. Like I said before, it says in Proverbs 18:10, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Okay? You need to know the name of the Lord, man. You got to have the name of the Lord. If you ain't got the name of the Lord, you fucked in the game to start with. Yeah. What do you call him? Yahushua, Yahweh. Those are not his name. They are based on Masoretic vowel points of the Assyrian script Hebrew hijacked by these Edomite devils. An individual by the name of Eleazar ben Yehudi in 1539. Okay? They added these vowel points to systematically change the correct pronunciation of the Most High's words in the Holy Scriptures, and then change it to Yiddish, which is a bastardized language based on German, French, Dutch, and some Aramaic words. Okay? Just all intermixed. These Edomite Caucasians call it Yiddish. It is not Hebrew. Okay? They effectively changed the correct pronunciation of the words by adding their own variation of what they believe it is, because they were in control of our words, our books, our scrolls for over 500 years. They are in the danger of being put to death by the Son of Man, whom you call Jebus Crossed, whose actual name in the Lashawan Kodash Hebrew language, Yahweh Shai, which means he delivers, he is salvation. That's all it means. That's it. Not Jesus. The letter J was created by John Giorgio Trissino in 1524. Okay, the letter J was created. Okay, they replaced the letter I with the letter J. Jesus, if you break it down, G means Geo, which means the earth, right? Okay, and Sus means pig. So Jesus means earth pig. You're sacrificing every Sunday, going to go worship the wicked vibration of a pork chop sandwich. Okay? Oh, holy pork chop sandwich, save me from my sin. That's exactly what the fuck you're doing. Okay, I apologize, my cousin. Boo-hoo, I'm sorry about hurting your feelings with your emotional fortitude, which is so weak. I'm so sorry. Boo-hoo. Here, let me shed a tear, some stupid shit, right? Digital ID requirement. The implementation of UBI likely requires a secure globalized digital ID to track recipients. This fits the narrative of a digital infrastructure that allows for mass surveillance of behavior. Okay? UBI. All I did was type in UBI and all of this stuff came out of nowhere. Hold on. Social credit systems. Come on, man. You can't make this stuff up. These people, this is a plan. They've been planning it for years. You just heard the woman, okay, on Redacted Them say that they've been planning on doing this shit for years. They've got graphene oxide in these micro C-hips, okay, also working with the Beetlejuice, the Satan's piss that you took under COVID-19, okay? When you took that vax shit, when you took it, you introduced this graphene oxide in your system. You made your body a living antenna, okay, a control tower, and made it biocompatible with the 5, 6G technology, okay? Whereas while you're at home, alone in a bed on your asleep, they can control you and make you think that you're just dreaming. Oh, it was so real, man. I was doing this and doing that. It was actually you moving the fuck around, and they were controlling you like you would be controlling a remote control car. You could use a remote control car, the little box that you use for the remote control car, and type in a certain frequency to control people. That's what they're saying. This shit's radio controlled, man. Or certain UVF frequencies, UVF, VHF frequencies. These are frequencies. Okay? Social credit systems. UBI could be linked to social credit systems similar to systems already emerging, right, in China, where payments are contingent on proper behavior. So if you behave improperly, or if you have these video epistles like these out on the internet that are speaking against the system, that would use this to take and drop your credit score, Salakia, and you'll be expunged from society. You have millions of Chinese immigrants or Chinese people that live in China in different cities, Guangdong, Wangcheng, whatever, okay, that are homeless because their credit score dropped below a certain number. They can no longer work. They can no longer buy food for themselves, and they're just homeless. What happens in the wintertime? It gets ice cold. I mean, China is built around mountains. It gets cold as fuck in China. Okay? Real talk. So I've never been there before, but I've seen enough kung fu movies to see these lunatics fight in snow. Okay, of course, a bunch of wires and shit. You know how they do with the movies, but that's not the point. The point is, it's the fact that you can tell that it's cold outside, and when they make these movies, okay, you can see the cold breath coming off of their breath, man. It's cold, man. Okay, and they sitting up there in front of a movie. I mean, these people, man, come on, man. All right. So what are all these homeless people going to do during dark winter? Come on, man. That's crazy. They're going to put them in a FEMA camp, right? Destroy them, right? Trojan horse concerns. Some analysts view UBI as a tool pushed by technology elites to manage the social disruption of AI, maintaining their power while creating a pacified population. Summary of perspectives. As a utility solution, proponents view UBI as a way to cushion the blow from automation and ensure a better place to be. As a threat or prophecy, critics view it as scaffolding for a new sovereigns of a digital empire, right? Designed to make humans passive dependents. Okay? And also, all I did, UBI, what is it and how does it interact with beast system technology? And that's exactly what I came up with, you guys. Okay? Everything that the Bible is telling you what not to do, people are going to do it. Scared to death. Oh shit, how am I going to feed my family? Oh no, blah, blah, blah. Nobody's going to, come on, man. Just go whatever screen they want. Look, see? Wow, man, I'm trying to go to a different book and won't let me. You see that shit? Okay, Matthew chapter, or not Matthew. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 1. Many have sinned for a small matter, and he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away. He that seeketh for abundance is IUIC, ISUPK. These individuals took the bag. They tell you in a roundabout way that they took the bag when the Jesuit priesthood came into One West after the breakup between the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, okay, and those individuals that stayed in One West, creating their own schools, ISUPK and IUIC, that stayed at the school, along with IGGJC, GOCC, HOI, AOI with Zabak, all these individuals down there. The Jesuit priesthood, through the Catholic Church, came in and gave them a blank check and told them to fill in the number that they would take. Fill in the number that they would take in order for them to compromise their own soul on this side by selling their people down the river, okay, maximizing profit for themselves in order to be 501c3 tax exempt, while at the same time destroying the souls of the righteous and of the just. Telling them deliberately, the mark of the beast is a white woman. The mark of the beast is commerce. The mark of the beast is whatever the fuck they could come up with. Okay, real talk. I'm sorry about cussing, man, but I get passionate and I'm sorry, right? He that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away. He's turning his eyes away from the truth of the Holy Scriptures. Let me see if I can go and get another biblical scripture in Blue Letter Bible. Okay, let's go over here to Zechariah chapter 11, verse 5. Right? Okay, verse 4. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, my power, feed the flock of the slaughter. Right? The flock of the slaughter is the wicked 2/3 of our people that are following behind these wicked leaders, right? Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. This is Esau Edom, the so-called white man that set up this UBI beast system that hold themselves not guilty in order to pacify the masses of people and make them more susceptible, okay, to control, by taking their ability to take care of themselves, to force compliance on them, the wicked elites that are at the top that are pushing this beast system on the people. Right? Right? Hold on. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. Hold on. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. That's what these elites are doing. That's what the wicked teachers of our people, these wicked shepherds, right? And their own shepherds pity them not. Let's go over here to Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pastures, saith the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the power of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock, ye have driven them away, ye have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord. So during the time of Jacob's trouble, these individuals are going to meet their demise because they took the bag. When the Jesuit priesthood came into One West with a blank check and told them to fill in the blank, they filled in the blank, and they've been scattering the flock ever since. You see? And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set up shepherds over them. These shepherds are the elect of the house of Israel, whom the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 15. Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 15. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Right? So those pastors would be akin to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and other righteous men, bishops, and pastors underneath them, giving the flock that is supposed to be of the slaughter, but the flock of the Most High's inheritance that he chose, which are the elect, those that fear the name of the Lord, like it says in Malachi chapter 3, verse 16. Let's go get it. Since I have to mention all these biblical scriptures, let's go to the books and the reason of the information that I'm getting it from. Right? Book of Remembrance. Right? The Book of Remembrance. Malachi 3 and 16 AMP. Then those who feared the Lord with awe-filled reverence spoke to one another. How do we do that? On these video epistles, on the comment boards, when there are live streams, or we leave comments on the comment boards for individuals, okay, that we would be able to interact with one another, right? Then those who feared the Lord with awe-filled reverence spoke to one another, and behold, the Lord paid attention and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for those who fear the Lord with an attitude of reverence and respect, and who esteem his name. Right? Then they that feared the Lord spake often one unto another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name. So you have to understand that the name of the Lord is a great power, and you have to know the name of the Lord in Hebrew, the actual Lashawan Kodash language with the correct pronunciation, and the closest correct pronunciation of his name based on Hebraic thought, okay, of the Lashawan Kodash language, the original pure language written in Zechariah chapter 3, verse 9, okay? The Most High will restore unto his people a pure language. So the only way he's going to be able during the time of Jacob's trouble is to hear your prayer, is if you're calling upon the true name. That's it. Other than that, you're stuck, okay? Right? Now, going back to where I was at. So, at the end of the day, Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth. Right? And the representation of the Lord's mouth on the earth in the carnal sense are his men, the prophets, like it says in Amos chapter 3, verse 7. Surely the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. Right? So the Most High sent us prophets here in these last days, rising us up and sending, but our people would not hearken, neither were their ears, had ears to hear. Right? They don't want to hear it. Okay? Now, Zechariah chapter 7. Right. Zechariah chapter 7, verse 8. And the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, saying, Execute judgment, and show mercy and compassions, every man to his brother, and oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, nor the stranger, nor the poor, nor let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. Verse 11, and my point. But they refuse to hearken. In other words, they refuse to listen and pay attention, and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears, right? Being stubborn, stiffening themselves in resistance, and stopped up their ears that they should not hear. They made their hearts hard like flint, so that they could not hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts had sent by his Spirit through the former prophets. Therefore great wrath came from the Lord of hosts. Okay? Now this great wrath is Jacob's trouble. Okay, you're losing your jobs because of AI. You don't know what the fuck to do. How are you going to pay your family? You're being put out of your house. You're losing your cars. They're coming to repossess your things. What are you going to do? How will you hide your sins before the Most High and his angels? Acceptable men and acceptable men only will be tried in the fires of adversity. Okay? Because the Most High is only concerned about men. Because the flock of the Lord are men. That's all he's concerned about. And those men are Israelites. Not spiritual Israelites, unless it is according to the flesh. Right? All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rahabakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that have been scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Ecclesiasticus chapter 27, verse 2. As a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doth sin. 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. What is sin? He that transgresseth also the law, for sin is transgression of the law. Roughly paraphrased, right? As a nail sticketh fast between the joinings of the stones, so doth sin stick close between buying and selling. Right? One more. Let's go get it. Isaiah, hold on. Then I'll just call it a day. Isaiah 36, verse 6. Right? Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Egypt, which is America, Babylon the Great, right? Whereon if a man lean, you don't have a choice. If AI is making sure that you don't have a job, you don't have anything in order to feed your family, forcing you, enforcing compliance to make people more pacified, okay, enforcing compliance on the system, okay, where they force you to have UBI. The only way to access the UBI is you have to have the radio frequency identification micro C-hip implanted underneath your skin for them to control, track, and trace you, okay, and set you up on a social credit system where they can delete your money or delete your UBI, universal basic income, and you're back to square one. But you took the mark, so now you're fucked on two ends. You can't feed yourself, and God's going to destroy you anyway. Wow, that's crazy, huh? But you know how many people are going to fall into that snare and that trap that these Edomites have set up for them? Okay? Out of fear of these Edomite Caucasians, without depending and calling upon the true name of the Most High, out of fear and reverence of his holy name. See? You see how the trap is? Wow, man, these devils, boy. Wow. Ah, wow. Whereon if a man lean, you don't have a choice, universal basic income, right? It will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, Donald Trump, the cruel Lord, king of Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Egypt, right? To all that trust in him. So if you trust these goddamn devils, they sure as hell going to lay a snare and a trap to where you cannot escape. And there's no way out. And there's no way to go back. See? Shalom.